My child, stop for just a moment and listen carefully, because this message may be the moment you have been waiting for without even realizing it. Before you move on, before another distraction takes your attention away, I want you to slow down and understand why this reached you today. There are moments in life when we become so busy, so overwhelmed, and so focused on simply getting through the day that we miss the quiet signs placed in front of us. I know how quickly your days pass. I know how your mind moves from one thought to another, trying to solve problems, handle responsibilities, and keep everything from falling apart. I know how easy it has become to ignore the peaceful moments because the noise around you feels louder than the stillness inside your heart. But today, I want you to pause because this moment is important. This is not about fear, and it is not about making you feel guilty. It is about bringing your heart back to a place where you can listen, understand, and recognize what has been prepared for your life. Sometimes you walk past the things you have prayed for because your heart is tired, your mind is distracted, and your spirit is carrying more than it was meant to carry. I have seen every moment when you ignored the signs around you. Not because you did not care, but because you were trying to survive. I have seen the times when you avoided difficult truths because you were afraid of what would change if you finally accepted them. I have seen the moments when you closed yourself off, not because you stopped believing, but because you were afraid that listening would require you to leave behind things you were still holding on to. I understand that fear. I saw it enter your heart before you even knew it was there. I saw every time you wanted to move closer but chose to step back. I saw every moment when you felt the desire to change but allowed doubt to convince you that you were not ready. But listen carefully, my child, because this moment is different. This is not just another reminder passing by. This is a moment calling your attention back to what truly matters. It is a reminder to look deeper, to become aware, and to open your heart to what is happening around you. What is coming into your life requires you to be present. If your thoughts are scattered and your heart is focused on everything except the present moment, you may not recognize the opportunity placed before you. You have already walked through difficult seasons. You have experienced moments that changed you. You have cried, struggled, learned, and continued forward even when you did not think you had the strength to keep going. There were nights when you searched for answers and wondered if your life would ever become clear again. You remember those quiet moments when you prayed without knowing what to say. You remember looking at the ceiling, carrying questions that no one else knew about. You learned how to hide your pain so well that people around you believed you were fine, even when your heart was asking for help. But I saw everything. I saw every tear you wiped away before anyone noticed. I saw every silent battle you fought when you had no energy left to explain what you were feeling. I was present in the moments when you thought nobody understood you and nobody saw what you were carrying. You were never forgotten. Even when it felt like nothing was changing, there were things happening that you could not see. There were lessons being formed, strength being developed, and paths being prepared that you did not know existed. The difficult seasons were not the end of your story. But now you need to pay attention. Your heart needs to be open. Your spirit needs to become aware. The blessing, healing, and change you have been asking for require you to recognize them when they appear. That is why this message has your attention right now. Deep inside, you know this is more than just words on a screen. Something inside you feels connected because you have been searching for direction, comfort, and peace. You have asked for clarity, and sometimes the answer arrives in a way you did not expect. There were times when warnings came before you entered situations that were not good for you. There were moments when your heart felt uncomfortable, but you ignored that feeling because you believed you could handle everything on your own. You stayed connected to people who drained your energy. You returned to habits that you already knew were hurting you because facing the truth felt more difficult. You missed small signs because they seemed too simple to matter. But those moments taught you something important. They showed you the areas where you needed wisdom, patience, and a deeper understanding of yourself. I do not look at you with disappointment because of those mistakes. I do not see your failures as the definition of who you are. What hurts is seeing you continue carrying things that were breaking your peace. What hurts is seeing you give your time, energy, and heart to things that were never meant to control your life. I saw you asking for peace while holding on to the very things that were stealing it from you. I saw you searching for answers while ignoring the guidance already placed in front of you. But even when you struggled, even when you made choices that led you away from your purpose, you were never abandoned. Love remained. Guidance remained. Hope remained. Now you are standing at a turning point. The next chapter of your journey requires your attention, your willingness, and your faith. There is a change approaching, but you must be ready to recognize it. Do not rush past this moment. Do not assume you can return later and understand it the same way. Some opportunities require awareness when they appear. Some lessons only become clear when your heart is prepared to receive them. The reason you are here is not to feel afraid. The reason you are here is to remember that your story is still being written. The things you thought were impossible may not be as far away as they seem. The prayers you whispered in difficult seasons have not disappeared. Your pain was seen. Your struggles were known. Your journey mattered. And now, this is your invitation to become aware again, to listen again, and to believe that something new can begin from this moment forward. My child, I need you to understand something important about this season of your life. The reason I had to interrupt your routine, the reason I wanted your attention right now, is because you have been moving through life carrying things that were never meant to control your heart. You have been trying to stay strong while quietly becoming exhausted. You have been handling responsibilities, worries, and emotions that have slowly taken away your peace. I have seen how tired you have become, even when you continue telling others that everything is fine. I have seen the moments when your body rests but your mind continues fighting battles. I have seen the pressure you carry, the questions you cannot answer, and the old wounds that return when you least expect them. You have been trying to manage everything by yourself. You have been making decisions while feeling uncertain, moving forward while feeling lost, and smiling while carrying pain that you never wanted anyone else to see. You did not walk away from me intentionally. You simply became surrounded by so much noise that you struggled to hear the quiet voice inside your heart. Your life became filled with distractions, fears, responsibilities, and emotions that created distance between you and the peace you were searching for. You were not ignoring guidance because you did not care. You were overwhelmed. You were overwhelmed. You were trying to hold your world together with hands that were already tired. I saw how you tried to escape the pain instead of facing it. I saw how you convinced yourself that you were okay because admitting the truth felt too difficult. You kept saying, "I'm fine," even when deep inside you knew there were parts of you that needed healing. The noise around you became stronger than the peace within you. Fear added more weight. Confusion made everything harder to understand. Emotional exhaustion made it difficult to recognize the signs that were already around you. But I never stopped reaching toward you. I never looked at you and decided you were too far away. I never saw your struggles and considered you a failure. I saw someone trying to survive a difficult chapter while searching for a way forward. I knew exactly what you were going through. I saw the battles you fought silently. I saw the moments when you felt like giving up but still found a way to continue. I saw the strength you did not recognize in yourself. Now something important is approaching in your life. Something that requires you to become aware and present. This is why your attention matters. This is why you cannot continue moving through life without noticing what is happening around you. You have prayed for change. You have asked for guidance. You have asked for healing and for a sign that things can become better. Some prayers were spoken quietly. Some were only thoughts inside your heart because you did not have the words to explain what you were feeling. But every prayer mattered. Every hope mattered. Every moment when you asked for help mattered. There were times when you believed nothing was happening because you could not see the process. But preparation does not always happen in visible ways. Sometimes things are changing before you notice the results. Sometimes doors are being closed because they were leading you somewhere that would have caused more pain. You questioned why certain things ended. You wondered why some relationships changed. You wondered why some opportunities disappeared. But there were moments when losing something was actually protecting you from carrying something that would have damaged your future. Timing is not always understood immediately. Sometimes you think something is delayed because you have been forgotten. But sometimes the delay is preparation. Sometimes you are being strengthened so that when the opportunity arrives, you will be ready to handle it. This is why you must not believe that your journey has been wasted. Every lesson, every challenge, and every difficult season has shaped who you are becoming. You are not the same person you were before those experiences. The moment you are entering requires awareness. You cannot allow fear, distractions, or old patterns to control your decisions. You cannot keep looking backward while expecting something new to begin. There are opportunities that require action. There are moments when hesitation can prevent you from experiencing what is possible. This does not mean you should live in fear or pressure yourself. It means you should become more aware of your choices and more intentional with your direction. You have spent enough time doubting yourself. You have spent enough time believing that you are behind or that you missed your chance. What is meant for your growth is not destroyed by your past. But you must stop returning to the same places that caused your pain. You must stop allowing old fears to decide your future. You must stop believing every thought that tells you nothing will change. Remember the times when you felt a strong feeling inside your heart telling you to choose differently. Remember the moments when you knew something was not right, but you ignored that understanding because you were afraid. Those moments were lessons. They were opportunities to grow. They were reminders that you are capable of making choices that lead you toward peace. Now you are being called to become more aware. Not because something bad is coming, but because something valuable requires your attention. The future you have been hoping for will require a different mindset. It will require patience, faith, and the courage to move forward even when everything is not completely clear. You are closer than you think. The chapter ahead is not built on your mistakes. It is built on what you have learned, how you have grown, and how you choose to continue. So do not allow your past to convince you that your story is finished. Do not allow your struggles to make you believe that you are forgotten. You are still moving forward. You are still being shaped. And this moment is reminding you to open your heart and prepare for what comes next. My child, I want you to understand that there are battles you have faced that were deeper than what people could see from the outside. Many times, you looked at your struggles and thought something was wrong with you. You believed the delays, disappointments, and difficult moments meant that you were failing. But there were lessons hidden inside those experiences that helped shape your character and prepare you for the person you are becoming. You only saw the visible parts of your journey. You saw the closed doors, the unanswered questions, and the moments when things did not happen the way you expected. But you did not always see the growth taking place inside you. You did not always recognize how every challenge was teaching you patience, wisdom, and strength. There were seasons when you wondered why things felt so difficult. You questioned why certain people walked away, why certain opportunities disappeared, and why some plans did not work out. You looked at those moments as losses. But sometimes what leaves your life creates space for something healthier and more meaningful to enter. Not every ending is a punishment. Not every delay means rejection. Sometimes what feels like a setback is actually protection. Sometimes the things you are asking for cannot arrive until you are ready to receive them with a stronger heart and a clearer mind. I saw the moments when you felt tired from fighting the same battles again and again. I saw how you questioned your own value. I saw how you compared your journey with others and wondered why your path seemed more difficult. But your journey was never meant to look like someone else's. Your story has its own timing. Your growth has its own process. What matters is not how quickly you reach the destination, but how deeply you are transformed along the way. There were moments when you felt alone even when surrounded by people. There were times when you gave your best to others but received very little in return. You cared deeply, you tried to understand, and you gave pieces of yourself to people who did not always recognize your value. When those people left, it hurt more than you admitted. You started questioning whether you were too difficult to love, whether something was wrong with you, or whether you would always experience disappointment. But those thoughts were not the truth. You were never forgotten. You were never invisible. Your worth was never decided by how someone else treated you. I saw the pain you tried to hide. I saw the moments when you acted strong because you did not want anyone to know how much you were struggling. I saw the times when you laughed with others while carrying sadness inside. I saw the nights when your thoughts became heavy and you searched for comfort. You thought nobody noticed, but every moment mattered. The times when you felt the weakest were not moments of abandonment. They were moments when you were being carried through something you did not have the strength to handle alone. When you thought you were falling apart, you were actually being held together. You survived moments that once felt impossible. You moved through situations you thought would destroy you. You continued even when you had no clear answers. That strength did not come from pretending everything was easy. It came from continuing even when things were difficult. You need to release the shame you have carried for being tired. You need to stop judging yourself for having difficult emotions. Being honest about your struggles does not make you weak. It makes you human. Your tears were not signs of failure. Your questions were not signs of a lack of faith. Your moments of silence were not empty moments. Sometimes your heart speaks in ways that words cannot explain. You do not need to pretend that everything is perfect. You do not need to hide every wound. Healing begins when you allow yourself to recognize what needs attention. I know the chapters you wish you could rewrite. I know the memories that still affect you. I know the disappointments that changed the way you look at life. I know the moments when you lost confidence and wondered if you would ever feel whole again. But those experiences do not define your future. Your past may explain where you have been, but it does not decide where you are going. There are parts of your heart that you believe were too damaged to heal. There are dreams you stopped believing in because disappointment became too familiar. There are hopes you buried because you were afraid of being hurt again. But healing is possible. Growth is possible. A new beginning is possible. You do not have to carry every burden from yesterday into tomorrow. You do not have to continue living according to old fears. You can learn, rebuild, and move forward with a heart that is wiser because of what you have experienced. Remember this, you were never defined by the moments that broke you. You are defined by the courage that helped you continue. The struggles you faced were not proof that you were forgotten. They were reminders that you were still growing. Every difficult season taught you something valuable. Every challenge revealed something about your strength. Now it is time to look forward instead of constantly looking back. It is time to believe that your future can be different from your past. The same heart that experienced pain is also capable of experiencing peace. The same person who felt lost can find direction again. The same life that went through difficult chapters can still move towards something meaningful. Do not let fear convince you that nothing will change. Do not let disappointment make you believe that your best days are behind you. There is still more ahead. The journey is not over. The story is not finished. The lessons you have learned are preparing you for the next chapter. Stay aware. Stay open. Stay willing to grow. Because sometimes the moment you think everything is falling apart is the exact moment when a new beginning is being prepared. My child, I want you to pay close attention because there is something you need to understand about the season you are entering. You have spent so much time focusing on what went wrong that you sometimes forget to notice what is changing. You have been looking at the closed doors, the struggles, and the things you lost, but you have not always recognized the doors that are beginning to open and the opportunities that are slowly coming closer. There are moments in life when preparation happens quietly. Not everything important happens in a way that everyone can see. Some of the biggest changes begin inside your heart before they appear in your circumstances. Before your situation changes, your mindset often has to change first. This is why your awareness matters. This is why you cannot continue living distracted by old fears and old patterns. The future you desire requires a version of you that is willing to listen, learn, and move forward with faith. You have asked for answers. You have asked for direction. You have asked for a sign that you are not walking through life without purpose. But sometimes the answer does not come as a sudden change around you. Sometimes the answer begins as a change within you. There are things you have been carrying that are preventing you from seeing clearly. There are fears you have accepted as truth. There are doubts that have become so familiar that you no longer recognize how much they influence your decisions. You have allowed past disappointments to create expectations about your future. Because something did not work before, you started believing it would never work. Because someone hurt you before, you started believing everyone would eventually leave. Because one chapter ended painfully, you started believing every new chapter would bring the same result. But your future is not required to repeat your past. You are entering a time where you must release what no longer belongs with you. You cannot walk into a new season while holding tightly to everything that kept you trapped in the previous one. Growth requires letting go. Healing requires honesty. Progress requires movement. There were moments when you stepped away from opportunities because you felt unprepared. There were times when fear became louder than faith. There were moments when you were close to something meaningful, but you allowed doubt to convince you that you were not ready. You looked at your weaknesses and forgot to recognize your growth. You remembered your mistakes more than your progress. You focused on your failures more than the strength it took to continue. But look at how far you have come. You survived moments you thought you would never overcome. You learned lessons that could only be learned through experience. You became stronger through situations that once made you question everything. Now you must stop allowing fear to make decisions for you. Fear will always tell you to wait. Fear will always remind you of what could go wrong. Fear will always make the unknown seem more dangerous than it really is. But faith teaches you to move forward even when every detail is not visible. This does not mean you ignore wisdom or act without thinking. It means you stop allowing fear to control every choice. It means you trust that growth requires courage. There is a reason your heart feels a desire for change. There is a reason you feel like something inside you is asking for a new direction. That feeling is a reminder that you are not meant to remain stuck in the same place forever. You have spent enough time surviving. Now it is time to begin rebuilding. The future you hope for will not come from repeating old habits. It will come from making new choices. It will come from becoming more aware of your thoughts, your actions, and the people you allow into your life. Not every connection is meant to continue forever. Not every person who enters your life is meant to walk with you into every season. Sometimes people leave because their role in your journey has ended. That does not mean you failed. It does not mean you were not valuable. It simply means your path is changing. You have often wondered why certain relationships ended and why certain people became distant. But sometimes separation creates protection. Sometimes losing access to certain people gives you the space to discover yourself again. You cannot become who you are meant to be while constantly trying to hold on to things that are preventing your growth. This is your reminder to protect your peace. Protect your purpose. Protect the dreams that still exist inside you. There will always be distractions trying to pull your attention away. There will always be voices telling you that you are too late or that your opportunity has passed. Do not believe them. Your journey is not finished because of your mistakes. Your future is not canceled because of your struggles. You are still capable of growth, change, and meaningful progress. The next chapter requires you to be present. It requires you to stop running from yourself and start becoming the person you were created to be. The healing you have been waiting for may not happen all at once. Sometimes healing happens through small decisions, small steps, and small moments of courage. Every time you choose peace over chaos, you move forward. Every time you choose wisdom over fear, you grow. Every time you choose hope over hopelessness, you create space for something new. Remember that your life is not defined by the moments when you felt lost. It is defined by the moments when you found your way back. The difficult seasons did not destroy you. They prepared you. The pain did not remove your purpose. It helped you understand it more deeply. The challenges did not prove that you were weak. They revealed the strength you carried all along. So keep your heart open. Keep learning. Keep moving. The story you are living today is not the final chapter. There is still more ahead, and the person you are becoming is stronger, wiser, and more prepared than you realize. My child, as you reach this point, I want you to remember one important truth. Your journey was never about avoiding every difficult moment. It was about discovering the strength, wisdom, and faith that were being built inside you through every experience. The challenges you faced were not the end of your story. They were chapters that shaped you, taught you, and prepared you for what comes next. You have spent many years wondering why certain things happened the way they did. You have questioned why some prayers took longer than expected, why some opportunities disappeared, and why some seasons felt heavier than you thought you could handle. But now you can begin to see that every part of your journey had a purpose. There were moments when you thought you were being left behind, but you were actually being prepared. There were times when you thought nothing was happening, but things were changing in ways you could not see. Growth often happens quietly before it becomes visible. The person you are today was built through every lesson, every struggle, and every moment when you chose to continue. You may not have recognized your own strength during those difficult seasons, but every time you kept going, you proved that you were capable of more than you believed. Now it is time to stop looking at yourself only through the eyes of your past. You are not the same person who experienced those painful moments. You have learned. You have grown. You have become more aware of what truly matters. Do not allow old mistakes to keep controlling your future. Do not allow old wounds to convince you that healing is impossible. Do not allow fear to make you forget the possibilities that still exist in your life. There are still dreams waiting to be pursued. There are still opportunities waiting to be discovered. There are still moments of peace, joy, and purpose ahead of you. But you must be willing to receive them. Sometimes people pray for change but remain attached to the things that keep them stuck. They ask for a new beginning while holding on to old habits, old fears, and old beliefs that prevent them from moving forward. This is your invitation to release what no longer serves you. Release the need to understand every detail before taking the next step. Release the fear that says you are not enough. Release the belief that your best days are behind you. Your future is not limited by what happened before. The same person who experienced disappointment can experience restoration. The same heart that was hurt can experience love again. The same mind that felt confused can find clarity again. You are allowed to begin again. A new beginning does not mean forgetting everything you went through. It means using what you learned to create something better. Your experiences gave you wisdom that you did not have before. The pain you experienced can become compassion. The lessons you learned can become guidance. The struggles you overcame can become encouragement for someone else who is still walking through their own difficult season. Your story matters because someone else may need the hope that comes from seeing you continue. Never underestimate the impact of your journey. Sometimes the battles you survive become the message that helps another person believe they can survive too. You may not always understand why certain things happened, but you can choose what meaning you give them. You can choose to allow your experiences to make you stronger instead of allowing them to keep you trapped. Remember that peace is not found when every problem disappears. Peace is found when your heart learns that you are not alone while facing those problems. There will still be challenges. There will still be uncertain moments. But you are no longer the same person who faced them before. You have gained understanding. You have gained patience. You have gained strength. So walk forward with confidence. Do not let distractions steal your attention from what matters. Do not let negativity control your thoughts. Do not let temporary situations convince you that your entire future is hopeless. Every new day gives you another opportunity to choose differently. Choose growth. Choose forgiveness. Choose hope. Choose to believe that your life still has meaning and purpose. The things you once thought were impossible may become the very things that remind you how much you have changed. The doors you thought were permanently closed may lead you toward unexpected opportunities. The moments you thought broke you may become the moments that built you. Keep your heart open. Keep your faith strong. Keep moving forward. Your story is still being written. The chapter you are entering does not need to be controlled by fear, regret, or the pain of yesterday. It can be shaped by wisdom, courage, and the lessons you have gained. Remember the prayers you whispered. Remember the hope you carried even when things were difficult. Remember that every moment of growth brought you closer to becoming who you were meant to be. Today is not the end of your journey. It is a reminder that your journey continues. You are not forgotten. You are not invisible. You are not without purpose. The road ahead may not always be easy, but it can still be meaningful. There is still room for healing. There is still room for change. There is still room for new opportunities. Walk forward with an open heart and a willing spirit. Because sometimes the greatest transformation begins in the exact moment when you decide that your past will no longer control your future. Your story continues. Your purpose continues. And the best parts of your journey may still be ahead.